Hey, welcome to another episode of Breaking Protocol from the Razzle Dazzle Show, our ongoing miniseries where we break down key updates and design questions straight from the development of Shade Protocol. These episodes are built around the game's community's engagement series, Devs Ask You, or DAUs, where Kendall and the team not only show what's changing, but invite fans to shape the journey with them. Today we're diving into the Violin Katana, one of Zura's most elegant yet devastating instruments. From control precision to traversal puzzles, and from cinematic flair to combat flow, community feedback has already helped shape this weapon into something truly special. Let's take a closer look at where it stands and where it might go next. Be sure to follow us and Little Legendary on our socials and YouTube channel, and be sure to join the Shade Protocol Discord server to follow new DAUs, vote in polls, and share your voice directly with the dev team. Links to everything will be in the description down below, and with all that being said, it's Razzle Dazzle time! So Violin Katana, right? As we know at this point already, or if people don't know and this is their first Breaking Protocol episode that they tune into, weapons are also instruments. Zura wields both, right? And they, like, the guitar axe is a literal guitar axe, and the spears also flute, right? So on and so forth. Violin Katana. From what I can see in the trailers and like from the GIFs and images you share on the Shade Protocol Discord, which everybody should be joining if you're listening to this, by the way, it's very easy to tell that it is a katana for sure. But what makes the violin aspect of it stick out? I understand from us talking, and I'm pretty sure you've said this in a previous episode, where like you're using the sheath of the katana as like the base of the violin, and the actual sword is like the, what's it called, a rod? I don't remember what. The bow, right. How else can you translate that through overall design?
Yes, so visually it's definitely not easy, because we want the instruments to not be carbon copies of the instrument in our world, right? So even the axe, which I think is the one that looks the most like its original instrument, right, we wanted it to be more of an axe than it is a guitar, but we wanted it to represent that instrument so well that there are moments where, you know, you can't see the instrument itself being played. An example would be like in the Violin Katana, which you could see in the trailer. If you go to, I can't remember the time, but I think it's second 56 or something like that. I've seen this trailer a couple of times maybe. So when you go to that moment, you'll get to see her. You know, she pulls out the katana from the sheath, and then you'll see how she puts a sheath in her shoulder, and then there's an edge to the sheath that is like that, kind of like, it's hard to explain, but it's not really strings. It's more like kind of vibrational energy thing that, you know, she's kind of playing on top of it, using the sword as the bow of the violin, and then the sheath as the violin. So definitely it won't look like a violin linearly, as in like exactly like a violin, because what we wanted to defend the most was the fact that it is something that you're going to use as a weapon. But it is really interesting, and there's a lot that I could easily spoil here, so I'm defending myself from my natural impulses. But I'll tell you that, how do I say this? Instruments are code, right? And that's something that if you've never heard about Shade Protocol, it might just still be like a new thing. But these instruments are mostly this ephemeral pieces of code in the universe that you get to own. So they are a representation of how you understand this musical instrument. They are not like perfectly, I mean, they are physical things, right? You can touch them, you can cut with them, you can smash with them. But the concept of them is they're not perfectly always this one thing. If others could have instruments, we'll deal with that when we get to story. Maybe, you know, you, Garrett, having an instrument would look different from me having the same instrument. They might not look the same. And that has more to do with us and, you know, who we are and how we interpret them and how we use them versus them themselves, right? So they are the same code and the same kind of concept of music. Like the idea is to get to not necessarily the player, but more on the lore concept that you and I might sing a song completely different. You and I might play a song completely different. Therefore, our instruments would be different. Are they incredibly different? Maybe. That's like an interesting thing for people to discover as they play the game. But the instruments that Zura gets to have are a representation of her purpose, right? Her what's left behind for her to do, and, you know, pretty much this failed journey that she's trying to rectify, right? So she pretty much doesn't get to have the more perfectly musical version of this instrument. She gets to have like the one that lets her, you know, attempt to to right her wrongs. That's all she gets to have. So it's a little bit of a intrinsic story to what's going in there, and you guys will get to see a lot more of that. But it's a good call out. We do want every single instrument, and this is a lot to say, but we want every single instrument to at some point feel quote unquote played. We want that to happen. Are we going to get there with every single one? Very difficult, but we already have more than we've shown in terms of musical actions that look like the instrument. As in, the violin katana gets played like a violin during the World Cut. We want more of that for all the instruments. So that's our goal, to get that to happen in a way that feels right, that is very, very quick, that is not something that stops gameplay, but that gives you that sense that these are melancholic things that, remind us of what, the songs humanity left behind.
Something I just thought of, you want these things to be played like actual instruments. Obviously a form of playing a violin, you pluck, right? You pluck the strings or whatever. Maybe somehow, at least audio wise, the sound of a plucked violin can be heard if there's an attack using only the sheath, like a little blunt attack, boom, or something. I don't know. Just shooting, seeing what sticks.
That's the kind of stuff. Yeah, we want to do a lot of stuff like that. I think, of course, it's a game based on music and code, so we need to do well in both themes. But it will definitely be represented. We have, I think we've shown like the axe combo in the Discord already to people that are there, and that definitely has like more of that, kind of electric guitar feel, and you get to feel the sounds as you're using it. The axe is incredibly heavy, so when it kind of scrapes the floor, you can kind of hear it like you're doing like I don't know what the musical name of it, when you kind of like with a plain nail, you kind of go over a string of an electric guitar, like that kind of sound is there, and you get this sense that these are real instruments, but at the same time, their purpose is to defend and protect, and they're definitely used as weapons of war.
Of course.
So you'll get to see both, and you'll get to see a lot more of the playing will come soon enough.
Are we able to bury the light with the violin katana?
This is a reference to something that I should know. Tell me, I should know this. I definitely know like what people compare the.
It's a Devil May Cry. Virgil.
Oh, Devil May Cry. Well, people tell us about the Virgil thing all the time, but more about the Judgment Cut is the one that I know. I haven't played the Devil May Cry games, sadly. I think I have to now. I've mandated to do it. I would say 1 out of every 10 comments in our YouTube video is making a reference to the Judgment Cut, which I love, and then the other 9 are comparing us to Mega Man X and Zero, which I adore, by the way. Keep doing that. Makes me happy to be compared to something that amazing. But and then of course there's a couple there about like the spear harmony feeling like the Nivellum Ballesti from Valkyrie Profile, which is intentionally what we wanted, right? We wanted to get that feeling, but more in a Cyber Valkyrie state. So I guess going back to your question, I don't quite know the ability specifically that we're referencing here. Maybe someone
it's just like the theme song for Virgil, who uses a katana, like that's his main weapon, and he does like super cool samurai shit. So that's just a bit. That's just a bit.
Yeah, I think we will do. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble. We want to do an homage. Is how you would say it, right? I think that's the right word to say. An homage to all these games. They're gonna come. They're gonna come. And you're gonna get to it.
Should be like.
Are they gonna be very prominent and literal? We might have to be careful, for legal reasons. And we want to do this. We want to do this out of respect to the genius of these games, right? But do we want to make this like things that are core gameplay? These companies we are happy to reach out to them.
Hey, Capcom!
Say, hey guys, you guys want Capcom? You guys want to do? I mean, they have a lot, right? They have Mega Man too. So you guys want to let us do something cool, like an extra DLC where we add these sounds and make it? Of course, let's do it. We would love to do that. But out of respect, we will do. We do have a list, an ever-growing list of homages that we want to do for games that have shaped our entire beings to the stuff that has inspired the game. So we will definitely do some of that in a way that feels right.
I can totally see like if whenever you get the Violin Katana, there's like a text box saying, you got the thing, right? Very Zelda-like. I could totally see you working in Bury the Light somewhere within the text or something. I don't know. It's dangerous to go alone. Go bury the light. I don't know. Anyways, Shade Protocol continues to be shaped not just by its creators, but by its community. Whether it's refining how story is told or rethinking player immersion, every DAU opens the door to deeper collaboration. This has been another episode of Breaking Protocol from the Razzle Dazzle Show. Want to help shape what Shade Protocol becomes? Join the Shade Protocol Discord server to follow new DAUs, vote in polls, and share your voice with the dev team directly. And if you like this breakdown, then stay tuned for more spotlights and interviews with Kendall right here on the Razzle Dazzle Show. Remember, the future of Amiria is still being written. We'll catch you on the next one.